everybody, Chris here from Flying Star Astrology, and today we are going to talk about the December 2019 flying stars, so stay tuned. So the December flying stars don't come in on the 1st of the month. With flying stars, they come in a little bit later, and this month they fly in on the 7th. In general, I just usually pick like the 5th of the month because every month, since we're using the Chinese calendar, it changes a little bit. So I just picked the 5th of the month to be consistent with every month. So if you start feeling the energy beforehand, that's not unusual because flying star energy works in cycles of 9. So you can start feeling the energy coming in as early as 9 days before the stars actually take place. So for the month of December 2019, we have what I call the theme star, which is kind of the overriding energy of the month that sits in the center of the Feng Shui map, which is called the Bagua, and it's the conflict star. Well, the conflict star sits with the spirit star spirituality, and so what this can mean is that people are conflicted about their spiritual practices, or there's fighting among different factions when it comes to religion or different religious groups. They disagree on principle, on what the belief should be, who you should worship, things like that. And it's also can indicate problems with children. So children can be fussy and fight more this particular month. And that's really not that unusual because school is out for like 2 weeks in the month of December. So, when siblings are together, especially younger kids, they can start to bicker and things like that. So just keep your sense of humor. When you're with friends, when you're with family members who have a different opinion about beliefs, keep your sense of humor, keep your opinion to yourself, or just keep it on the light side. Don't like engage in it, especially if you know that Uncle Al is looking for a fight, or your brother Joe likes to pick on you and see how far he can take it so that you get like out of control. Just keep your sense of humor, keep your wits about you, and you will be fine. Let's see. All right, so moving down to the Northwest. The Northwest is all about helpful people and travel. So helpful people can include people like your neighbors, your friends, your coworkers, your bosses, people in your community. It's people outside of your family. And also, like I said, travel. So this month we have what's called the double relationship star. So people can be particularly helpful when you're traveling, or just in general, like if you're looking for advice, if you're looking for new clients, if you have new information to get out there, people are going to be more receptive, or even people can find you based upon information that you've given them in the past. This is a really good month to connect with people. Because we have what's called the fire star sitting in the Northwest, this is called fire at heaven's gate. So if there's anybody that you've had disagreements with in the past, it's possible that this month the friendship or the relationship could come apart as a result of the fire star sitting there. So it's kind of a weird thing. How can you get clients and yet relationships fall apart? Well, it depends upon how you've been living your life. So if you've been working, trying to create a business and attracting clients and getting information, and or just asking for advice from people, this month they're more likely to be receptive. If you've had an antagonistic relationship with somebody in the past or recently, this is the month that it could come to a head and you guys decide that you just you're better off not talking to each other or interacting with each other anymore. For the West, we have what's called the Star of Change, and it's with the Star of New Beginnings. So if you've been looking to start something new, especially if the West is your career direction, this could be the month that you make that leap of faith to change the way that you're doing things, or even within your own business. If you don't like the way you're doing something, or you don't like a product or a service you're offering, or you're thinking about changing a product or service you're offering, this is the month that you could decide to do that. Now, because the change star can can be a little abrupt, like things don't happen slowly. It's usually like all at once and just, kind of like a head-on collision sometimes. It may happen faster than you think or in a way that you're not planning to make the change, but because of an event or something that happens within your career, within your life, this change comes on full force and you're just forced to make a change. So, for example, if your company is downsizing and you've been waiting to see if your division or your job is going to still hold and this is your career direction, not likely that it will. Or you could keep your job but find that it's like in a different department or doing something that you may not know very well or may not like particularly well, but you could grow to like it. So give it a chance if that happens for you, and just kind of see how this plays out, because it's the end of the year, and so things can change for next year. So just hang in there if that's what you experience. In the Northeast, which is all about learning and books and teaching, mentoring, religion, spirituality, but in the sense of like traditional religion, we have the windfall star. It's also sitting with the illness star, so it could mean that it could be that like people sort of turn their backs on religion, or schools find that right before the school lets out for the holiday break, that kids get sick all of a sudden. Like everybody gets sick right before the Christmas break, which is not good. But that's kind of what's happening with the combination of that star. It also indicates like blockages. So if you're trying to make headway as a teacher, or you're trying to learn something new, you may find that you get stuck somewhere along the way. But like I said, things change, so hang in there, and you could even find that if you ask the right people, you get the answer you want, and it could be instantaneous, or you come across some information that turns out to be what you consider very fortuitous and you weren't expecting that to happen. So that's another way that this star could play out for you. In the South, we have what is called the robbery star sitting with the conflict star, which means that people could feel conflicted about buying things or paying for things. So if this happens to be your career direction and you sell products or services for a living, you may find that you don't make as much money during the month of December because people are conflicted about whether to buy from you. And it could just be because it's the holidays and they want to spend the money on gifts for family or friends, or they have upcoming bills that they need to spend money on, and so they really don't want to invest in your product or your service. It can also mean that we see like famous people who lose money as a result of conflicts they have with others. So that's just more of in the news kind of thing. It wouldn't necessarily affect you specifically. But like, for example, Taylor Swift and Scooter Braun, or Scooter Braun, however he pronounces his name, they've been in conflict for a long time. She's not able to get the rights to her music. She's going to lose money as a result of that. Something like that is something that we could see in the news, or that particular situation could escalate even further. So yeah, not a great combination for the South. If you have a front door in the south area of your home, or your building that you go to and from work every day, try and use a different door. Like I would use a door in the northwest if you could, in the north or the northeast, or even the east would be good. The other directions are not that fabulous this month, so if you can avoid coming and going from the other directions, that would be good. Not always possible. Like in my house, you can only go out the south, or you can go out the southeast. You could go out the back door if you want, but nobody wants to traipse through the yard, so we don't do that. We just use the doors that we have. The north, we have what's called the star spirituality, spiritual growth, sitting with the star related to family and relationships. So this could strengthen your relationship with your family. It could also cause challenges in the sense that what you believe is not something that your family believes, and they have a hard time understanding that. So you may want to just hold off on that conversation for the moment and table that for another time. But it is good for creating long-term relationships, especially in career. North is about career in the future. So if you're looking at making connections with people to help you in the future, or maybe you haven't really thought about that, but you meet new people this month, those people could help you in the future or going forward at some point in your life. In the Southwest, we have what's called the double disaster. We have the disaster star combined with the fire star, which creates doubling of disaster energy. So it's not great for moms, because the Southwest is representative of motherhood. It's not great for older women, especially as it comes to your health and your relationships, because you could find that that relationships that you have with, like, usually it's one other person. So it could be a spouse, it could be a significant other, it could be, you know, somebody that you tend to get with just one-on-one. Things change, but in a way that is not beneficial to you. It's possible that it could be for the better right now, but if it does happen that something happens in a relationship that you have, you will find out that down the road that this turned out to be a good thing. So just hang in there with that. This is also associated with food poisoning. So be careful about what you eat this month, and you know, if something doesn't taste right, don't eat it. Good advice anytime, right? But especially this month. In the East, we have the windfall star sitting with a new beginning star. And the East is all about family and government and history. So it's a good time to start like a new tradition with your family. This would be a good year to do that, a good month to do that. You could also find that you are presented with an opportunity out of the blue from somebody in your family, or if you've applied for a government job, you could find that you get that this month, or if you happen to work with your family or work in the government, you could get some kind of a bonus from your family, or get a promotion in the government. This combination is also good for writing. So if you're a writer, it's a good time to start a book or to publish any articles that you may have, poetry, pretty much anything. If you like to write, this is a good month for writing. And then Southeast, we have the financial loss star sitting with the illness star. So that can mean that you spend money on your health this month because you need to. Maybe you catch a cold or you get the flu, and so you have to go to the doctor. Or you haven't been feeling that great, and so now you decide you're going to join a gym to get into better health. So it's not necessarily a bad combination, it's just that more likely to spend money on health issues this month, and that's kind of a global thing as well. So I hope you found that interesting, and if you're not sure what your best directions are, you can actually go to my website, flyingstarastrology.com, and I have a PDF file that all you have to do is download it, and it will tell you what your 4 best directions are based upon your birthday. So it will tell you what your success direction, your health direction, your wisdom direction, and your relationships are. If you want to know what your power number is based on your birthday, just fill in the email on my website, flyingstarastrology.com, and I'll shoot that right over to you. And if you like these videos, I make them pretty much once a day. And just hit the subscribe button, and if you hit the bell, you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions, post them below and I will answer those for you. And if there's any kind of video that you would like to see in the future, let me know and I'll take a look at creating that for you. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon. Bye.